right, hold on. Let me. Canadian Postal Workers Union president arrest. Hey, let me just see if that's probably um copter president. I'm getting a lot of Ice Cube. That's probably not. Yeah. Let me see if okay, there's a lot of that. I think I know where to look. Next generation carriers. Wow, we got 5,000 followers on our page. Oh, that's good.
Okay, I'm back.
All right.
Let's go live on Twitch. Okay, so I only have stuff on the Air Canada strike.
Okay.
I did not have time to prepare. I wanted to talk about this fella who got arrested for criticizing Canada's role in the genocide, and he is eyeballing leadership for the NDP. His name's Yves Engler. And turns out there's some fishy stuff about him.
Yeah, he's an anti-Semitic asshole.
Yeah, spoiler, Doug. Thanks. I was looking. I didn't know, but okay. Say spoiler before you.
I mean, he doesn't even bother with the triple parentheses. He just says Jews.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
He's written articles like the Jewish community needs to be taken down a peg. That sort of stuff. It's very problematic. But he is a leading contender to become the head of the leader.
This is like, as an aside, this is like why entryism in these fucking social democratic parties is a waste of time.
And also good on our comrade Ben for calling him out.
He did the right thing.
I was impressed. Yeah.
No, it was very principled. And he's been solid on this issue as far as I'm concerned.
And this is where principled politics gets you is the point. So next time we record, I definitely want to have something a little bit more polished. But I think that was the right call. To call.
Can I actually make a suggestion about that? Why don't you invite Ben on?
Yeah, dude. What's Ben doing now?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now?
Yeah, ask him now. Fuck it. If he's not, then we can reschedule. But if he wants to talk about it, or if
he probably knows more about this. I mean, certainly than me. I just made 2 comments on his post.
Yeah. We can.
But I'm not familiar with the ins and outs. I'm certain he can tell us.
Yeah. I'm sure Andy has a 45-page thought on. I love Andy. I just joke, but he's a good dude. Just man, oh man. Andy sent me a message. Let me make a coffee. I'm gonna have to probably drink one to get through his dissertation on everything.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, I can just do our Air Canada bit.
All right.
A little bit. So this will be a Canadian focused episode, unless there's this if one of you guys can slap together while I'm talking.
I mean, we'll record this, then we can just cut and then see if we
I could talk about the ACP's position on annexing Canada if you want, but
now people do want to know about that. That is something.
That's something else I didn't talk about. But...
Wait, really? Wait. Oh, I thought you were joking. No. Oh, no.
They really do want. That is their position.
Yeah, they want to finish Manifest Destiny and have America.
Hinkle's talked about annexing Canada, and they had their pre-ACP group that had the map of North America, which showed the U.S. and Canada fused.
Yes, and that's too liberal, and that's is that actually just more British monarch, British globalists?
It's part of their LaRoucheism. They want to go after the British,
trying to free Canada from
the crown,
from the crown. Right, Ben, right
on. We're not fighting a people's war.
I know. Hey, this is like the monkey's paw. Someone wished for a communist party in the United States, and this is what you got.
Yeah, I already clipped that shit.
In true American fashion, we end up with.
Oh my god!
I think I have a meme. I made a meme about that.
Okay, that's it. Hey Ben.
Hey,
long time no see. Technically, I saw you yesterday. Ben and I have been playing Hearts of Iron 4 late at night.
All right.
Way too late. Way too late. By the way, do you see how like mentally I'm falling apart, but I can still conquer the Nazis? Like I couldn't. Ben's asking me questions. Chris, how are you? Good, good. Ben, I couldn't. I was fucking beat, but we did good. So that's it.
Yeah, it was fun.
We did random. Wait, only Doug plays, right? None of you, Joe or Aaron, you don't play Hearts of Iron 4 at all.
No, I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Hearts of Iron. It's
It's a lot of fun.
It's a big World War II strategy game.
Yeah,
and
but you can micromanage everything.
You can literally be like any country,
and you can make them go communist, which is cool. And they did a lot of like historical research, like the characters and stuff that you can be.
Yep, the history's pretty good on everything. You can the Soviet Union could be one of like 7 leaders now. You could be Stalin, Trotsky, Zinoviev,
War in Europe as Germany invades Poland in a lightning.
So I do the Air Canada thing. Wait to see if Ben responds. But then we could record potentially 2 episodes tonight if you guys evenings are free, because I have a whole thing on socialism, utopian, and scientific. I've got tons of material for it. That I would just love to go through it like chapter by chapter. I think it's one of my favorite texts, and I think it's a pretty important text.
Yeah, sure. Fuck yeah.
I have to go at like 9, but
all right. We got an hour 20. We got an hour 10. All right. We can definitely get the Air Canada done.
We can get a lot of material in. Okay, so I guess we'll just roll right into it.
Right.
You're listening to the Left Opposition podcast with a full house tonight. We got Chris, Doug, Joe, Ben, and myself, Aaron. Hey everybody, long time no see.
I know, right? It's been a while.
Yeah, we've been busy. I think
we have.
It's like our D&D night. It's just hard for our to sync up.
Class war and I can't think of a witty thing for class war, but yeah, all right. I'm excited. It's a good day. The sun is coming down on a long day. I'm sure we have some good news. I hope, Aaron. I've been following the events. No spoilers. I don't want to steal anyone's thunder, but there's actually a little bright light here at the end of the tunnel. Once in a while, we do get the working class does get a win. I hope I'm not hyping this up incorrectly. I know. Okay, but that's enough for me. Looks like there's some hope on the horizon. So, Aaron, we are ready. Tell us about your fair country there.
Class struggle in Canada is heating up. We had another wildcat strike this past week.
Nice.
Love it.
So I'll set the groundwork here, because like I don't know how much of the Air Canada, how much flight attendants working conditions that you guys are aware of. It's pretty shocking. I didn't know any of this. So on August 16th, so about a week ago, so I guess on the program tonight, we're talking about the Air Canada strike. So about a week ago, 10,000 Air Canada flight attendants walked off the job in strike over a lack of contract and dog shit working conditions. Representing the workers is Canadian Union of Public Employees, pronounced CUPE, C-U-P-E. You may be familiar with them. We talked about them a little bit, I think, in 2022 during the wildcat strike in Ontario. They defied back to work legislation then. Those were the education workers. Ironically, though, Air Canada was privatized, but the union continues to represent them. They're privatized in 1981, thankfully, much to the betterment, obviously, of and efficiency of the airline. No, that's not true. So
where the pay didn't go up and the flight conditions didn't get better?
No, for some reason, whenever you privatize stuff, working conditions go down, but profits go up. So you know,
but this is the free market. What's going on? What happened? Is someone getting rich off this?
Man,
I doubt it.
Look, if you don't like it, you can open your own airline. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of the free market.
That's right. You know, make your own bootstrap factory too. All right, perfect. So either way.
Flight attendants at Air Canada, they're extremely low paid and overexploited. They make on average about $1,900 a month, which is actually $900 less than minimum wage.
What? How is that legal? Is it?
Fuck if I know. I don't know.
I mean, is it salary?
You signed the contract. You saw what you were gonna make, and you took the job anyway, right?
Yeah.
So if they don't like it, they can leave, or they can.
Yes, you can't escape capitalism. I'm sure that exists for working class people. That's right. Yeah.
$1,900 a month is less than the Canadian Emergency Response benefit that we got during COVID. That was $2,000 a month.
Wow. $1,900.
So that works out to about $900 less than minimum wage. Their 10-year contract had little in the way of pay raises, so it's a 10-year contract, dude. It gets so much worse the more you look into it.
A 10-year contract?
Yes.
A 10-year I thought there was like that didn't sound wait. You ever hear something so wrong you don't think it exists? 10. I mean, the law typically for people who don't like have union jobs, sometimes like I've heard contracts go as long as let me just get to the point. Maybe a 4 or 5 year is considered bad. That's real bad. You got a 4-year contract or a 5, that's a really bad thing. The goal, and this is from a book called Teamster Rebellion, which I think Farrell Jobs was right about this. You want to have 1 or 2 year contracts because you want to give some time to rest after a contract battle. But a year or two keeps people on their toes. They're ready to fight again because, in my own experience too, shorter contracts are good resting time, but it keeps them active because after 10 years, people don't. That's when the membership wakes up around that time. Like, all right, it's contract time. What's going on? They think they can change things, and that you want to have that energy still there. But
also, it's like inflation exists and shit. Like, you don't want to like
no shit
unless it's like built into the contract, which I doubt.
Well, thankfully, inflation hasn't really been a problem the last 10 years.
Oh, thank God. I mean, there's no like we have COLAs for ours, like which is a good thing. We have built-in COLAs, which is we got that in 1972 after we illegally went on strike at the post office. So that's illegal strikes win good things. So who knew? But all right, that's insane. Wow.
Another thing too is a 10-year contract ensures like you're probably gonna have on average like high turnover. So you're not gonna actually have engaged union members.
Absolutely not. No, I've never heard it. This is blowing my mind. And anyone else who's a union member, I cannot believe that exists. Holy shit! All right.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's kind of like the workers who would still be around from the last contract struggle are like not going to be there. So it's like everyone has to learn all these lessons like all over again.
Yep. Absolutely.
By themselves.
So it had little in the way of pay raises, which were consistently below inflation, and not by little either. In the past 25 years of inflation, inflation's increased 69%, while wages rose. Yeah, wages rose by mere 10%.
So 10%. Does anyone have a calculator?
69% inflation. That's a lot.
Wait, hold on. I need a calculator. So if inflation went up 69%. And that's how much? That's a 59% pay cut. Did I math that right? I'm my abacus.
I'm not a math magician here.
I thought we had it shitty with our contract with the letter carriers.
Like it is shocking how bad this is.
Now I see how illegal wire that makes sense. That is, wow, just fucking wow. That's it. Okay.
And just a reminder to our audience and every union member listening: every pay raise below the rate of inflation is a pay cut.
Pay cut. Absolutely.
Period. Yeah. Period.
Yeah, it is.
So, in addition to these wages, which are not great, flight attendants perform hours upon hours of unpaid work. They have to be at the airport an hour before their flight, and
what the fuck?
And they only get paid when the plane is in the air.
Okay, now that's how they get paid. Now I understand why they get. I thought this was the case, working off the clock, how they were $900 less than minimum wage. Because if you count that as your work and you're not getting paid, that's working for free. So on the average, now and I did the math. That's about like $11.87 an hour if I did the math right per month. $11.87 an hour because you're not getting paid, and that's. That is the this is. Who the fuck negotiated this, and why the fuck did they agree to it? Okay,
So it works out to about 35 hours a month unpaid.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that includes this includes the 35 hours. That's a week. That's a week.
Yes.
Of your paycheck.
Yes.
That is not paid. This also means pre-flight checks, seating passengers. That's all unpaid labor.
Fuck that.
Breaking up fights, dealing with passengers that just start smoking.
Oh my God.
I don't know, hosing down the bathroom after people in them.
Is anybody now, Aaron? Please don't bring up my flight that I had that one time and you were there with me. All right, I like to do. All right, I thought this was technically it wasn't America, so I understand I can't do any of what you describe anymore on the plane. But I mean, that's 35 hours. I mean, also, I watch a lot of like police cam footage because, it's just there on my feed. Like the people that get pissed drunk and the fights that go on, like now everyone has like, ever since the pandemic happened, I think people lost their mind when they go flying. But I mean, yeah, you're right. All the fighting, I mean, I went on one of these plane rides where like everyone was pissed drunk and people were throwing up on the plane and they had a flight attendant to clean this all up. And like people after were handing them like tips, giving them cash because of how bad it was. And these people are making $11.87 an hour. Holy shit. That is, I'm going to keep interrupting you. I can't believe this.
You deserve, I mean, God, you got to get like 5 times that, I think.
Minimum, yeah. Yeah, $50 is fair for all that
like,
crap.
Those are slave wages. That's horrible.
That's insane. No. Oh my God.
Flight attendants report some airports actually offer food banks to their workers.
Yeah. Same here at the letter carriers. We have people going there. People have to sell their plasma. We got carriers doing that too. We have a couple homeless people too. Yeah.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very much. That is insane.
So in their offer, Air Canada offered of that unpaid time, they offered 50% of that time to be is going to be paid now.
It's going to be 100%. That's what it's going to be.
As well as a 17% pay raise over 4 years, which it still puts workers well below.
That's like 4.2%, roughly.
Way below minimum wage.
Yeah, 4.25%. So that's it. So 11. That's dog shit. And only half. You only have to work for free for half the time.
What's 17% of $12?
Yeah,
because that's what they get. That's not even a $2 raise.
Yeah, and it's over 4 years, so it's 4% each year.
It's $2.05.
Oh, there you go. Yeah,
for the entire time, right?
Yeah, 4 years
for the year.
Yeah. So that's gonna cover it. Jesus.
So 4 years, that's about 50 cents.
No one's gonna work, and that's the thing. And when this is the same thing we have with the post office letter carriers. No one's gonna do this job. That's just it. So you're gonna have people who don't give a shit. People who are tired, who are working, and then people aren't going to want to do the job. So you're going to have to do 3 times the work because you can't get people to come work for you. That's what's going to happen. It's the self-destructive feed loop this all shit goes into.
We also should point out too that obviously, your average flight, it's not going to be a problem. But these are like the key people for like safety on the airplane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if anything happens at all, like these people are the people who are going to be in charge of keeping everyone alive and safe and everything. So It's just, the way that they're treating them like shit like this. And you're absolutely right. It's just, I don't know. It's insane.
Yeah. No, and if I could just piggyback on that too, it's like the great point is like, whenever you see now, let's say you're on a plane made by, I don't know, Boeing. I don't know. They might have been in the news, but like every time one of those things half crash lands, and they're always amazed, and then you see the chart, like the plane goes up in flames. Those flight attendants will get those people out in like a minute, because they're trained. Like, I'm panicking. I'm scared enough fucking flying. But those people direct everybody. They get them off. Boom, boom, boom. They get those people end up saving your life and the lives of hundreds of people. So So these people who are the heroes that we keep talking about, even the people who fly the planes, same thing. They're struggling. Those people whose lives you depend on them keeping you alive while you're flying are paid less than a fast food worker. And nothing against fast food workers. They deserve a living wage too. But for the job of saving my life and making sure I don't die while I'm in the air or landing or crash, I think that should be worth a living wage. I don't know. And a little bit extra because it's extra risk, a little bit more. That's just me. But I had no idea. Thank you for Aaron. Nice job on this because I just knew there was a wildcat strike. I did not know the details of how fucking bad it was. But Jesus, God Almighty, so wow.
Okay.
So how many of them were in favor of the strike?
Right. Yeah, that's where my next point was. So if you wanted, 10,000 workers. If you want to guess what percentage were voted in favor of striking.
I can read your. I read your notes. So I already know the number.
All right, I know it's 99.7% voted in favor of striking.
One question: who the fuck was the 0.3?
There's like 30.
Who was it? Did like manager sneak someone in? Like, yeah, I'm fine with it.
That was the vanguard of the working class, members of the ACP.
Those dirty bastards, because they're infiltrating Canada. That's what they want. The American.
So it's like, remember, they're opposed to unions, so this is clearly in their interest.
It's like the 30 people with the lowest self-esteem on the entire planet. Like it's actually kind of sad that it would vote against them.
Some manager was like, "Good news, boss. I got 30 guys." What do you got?
That's it.
What do you got?
And were they in Alberta? Was that probably where it was the holdout? I'm just guessing. If I'm going Canada, man. All right.
You'd be surprised where anti-union sentiments can be found. So
yeah, I know.
Despite making billions in profits, Air Canada's profits are actually down 50% in the last period. Oh. And they're going to push these losses onto the workers. Now, I just looked it up, and Air Canada was granted special stock awards. Air Canada received a multi-billion-dollar bailout from the Canadian government during COVID. $5.9 billion federal rescue plan.
Oh. Wow.
So they were bailed out during COVID, and we still didn't nationalize them.
Just like America did not do that in the 2008-2009 subprime mortgage, where we bailed out AIG, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Countrywide, and we didn't.
It all went to stock buybacks and not,
right? And golden parachute part, and like they were still having like big executive parties with their bailout money.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Or they do the Scandinavian bailout where they'll take them over, give them a bunch of capital, wait till everything fixes, and then they give it back to the capitalists after. That's the other kind, the Scandinavian bailout model too, which Canada didn't even do that. So, Jesus, God damn, wow.
So the stakes are high, and the company knows a successful strike will set a precedent and inspiration across Canada for further working class struggle. And so businesses who depend on flying and shipping and tourism, they'll be watching this action closely. So just a little bit of quick history here. In 2011, the federal government threatened back-to-work legislation, and CUPE submitted to binding arbitration. In fact, back-to-work legislation was utilized 4 times against airline workers that year. On the other hand, in 2012, 3 workers were unjustly let go, and the workers at Toronto and Montreal initiated a wildcat strike to get them reinstated.
Wow.
Dozens of workers were fired, but the strike itself was successful. Everyone got their jobs back. And so that just shows workers have strength in their own hands, and when we fight back, we win.
Wow. So not voting harder actually did it? I thought that's how we fix everything. Yes, direct action, something gets the goods. Wow. All right. Well, I mean, look, you might lose these fights. Like that might happen, but you're definitely going to lose if you don't fight and you get bullshit contracts. So yeah,
that's a point we've made many times on this show.
Right, you're gonna get into a fist fight. You might end up getting an ass whooping, but you might end up winning. But at least people know, and they'll respect you that you fought, and that means a lot. That you at least promised to fight, and that's so. Props to those Canadian workers in Montreal.
You at least have a chance of winning.
Yes.
Yeah.
No shit. Jesus goddamn, dude.
So in a shocking twist of events, CUPE, the Canadian Union of Public Employees, is getting a surprising amount of support from the public. And I say surprising because I keep an eye on my town's like local community groups, and they usually are festering with like right-wing libertarians, incredibly transphobic
We're in the same town? How did this happen?
Incredibly transphobic and xenophobic assholes. Comments supporting the flight attendants were near universal, and so something has shifted when it comes to this. Probably the unpaid labor aspect of the whole thing. People had no idea that flight attendants made so little and were
didn't either
unpaid hours. Yeah, it's shocking. And so like even the worst scum of the people of this country are like, hell yeah, flight attendants, fucking go get it, go for it.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. So usually, like the unpaid time reminds me of my old job where I tried to. Form a union the first time I failed to do that, and I was a fucking guitar teacher. Like it just goes to show like how it doesn't matter what you do. It couldn't be more different from being a flight attendant. But like, we had this requirement to do like write a note for the students after every lesson, and the fucking corporate kept telling us like, just do it in the last 5 minutes of the lesson. And it's anyone who's a teacher is like, no, like that's when I'm teaching, asshole. And so that was the first thing I brought to my coworkers as something that's like, hey, wouldn't it be great if we got paid to write these? Because we all know that it takes 20 minutes, 30 minutes after work to do them. And we ended up fucking getting that without a union. The fucking School of Rock over in Natick, Massachusetts pays their fucking teachers to write notes now because we brought it, made a stink about it. And then, then it's just fucking unbelievable to me that people can see that, can be like, participate in that too. And then still be like, oh, union, I don't know what's up. Like, okay. But like,
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's just everywhere. Like, if they can squeeze something here and pinch something there, like they're going to do it. They're going to fucking keep stuff from you when they can.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's the thing that happens with people. And I've done union drives in the past, and it's tough. The fight is tough, but like what always helps, it was because I worked at FedEx Ground, which was helpful because you can point to UPS. It's more tangible when you're like, because a guitar, like that sounds like that might be hard to explain to people. Like, well, I've never heard of a union for people like us, whereas FedEx is like, oh, there's UPS, it's right down the street, and they get all these benefits, and you could point out every fucking thing they get, time and a half after good health benefits, a retirement plan, and we get none of that. So yeah, that was it. No.
Bet you guys never heard of an archaeology union until
dude, that must have been that. Dude, that should be its own episode. You should bring on some of the people who were with you on that.
Oh,
that's actually a good idea.
Yeah, why is it?
I'd be happy to do that. I know I know a guy who's tried to start his own podcast. He's got all the audio equipment and everything too. So yeah, we'll definitely have him on.
Well, yeah. What the fuck? You're holding out on us. All right. Either way, write that shit down. Just like I have to get you a neck brace in 2029. So all right.
So the reason why I like to point out that they're actually getting a lot of public support, is because typically it's probably the same where you guys are, but public unions are like almost universally hated. There's nothing but public unions, nothing but lightning rods for vitriol and seething hatred from the public around here. So like
teachers unions in America are a little bit different nowadays. Like, West Virginia and stuff. Yeah. It's not as bad. It's certain time. I mean, either you love them or you hate them, and it seems like there's no one like, I think it just seems to be one or the other. That's it, but
it depends too on like where you are in the country. Like here in Philly, we just had like a 2-week strike by the sanitation workers, and like the whole city was like completely behind them.
Nice.
But you get in a lot of parts though, yeah, you will hear that like, oh, these public sector workers are so lazy and blah blah blah.
Right.
Just crap. And it sucks too, because it's like once people start thinking that, it makes it a lot easier for like the bosses or the government to be like, we're gonna get rid of your right to collectively bargain. Like that's happened quite a bit.
Right. It's the thing. Like West Virginia, not known. I mean, formerly they have a long tradition for the coal miners union in the 1920s. But the teachers union there in 2014, I want to say, I know, but that was like universally loved. Like and they won in a right to work anti-union state. Then Arizona, also a right to work state, won a lot too. Like those were going. I mean, Massachusetts had several illegal teachers union strikes. Of course, our Democratic governor, Maura Healey, did not support them at all, but that's okay. The MTA is going to endorse her anyway, so that makes fucking sense.
That's weird. Our Democrat mayor here in Philly didn't support the strike either. It's kind of a strange, what a weird coincidence.
And I'm sure I have a weird
almost
feeling
think
that
the Democrats aren't on our side.
That's crazy, Doug. You need to vote harder, okay?
No, we need to vote for better Democrats, obviously.
That's it. And of course, the unions will still give because it's not dues. You can't use dues to pay for political contributions, because I always hear that shit. But the PAC money that members voluntarily give, the heads of the union will still fucking give these people PAC money, no matter what, even though they said we don't support you. That's Jesus God, I can't, I don't get the logic. Like, I know Republicans hate you, but the Democrats aren't supporting you either, aren't they? So maybe get a politician who does support you in what you do, because a strike is the only thing that fucking wins. And they won all those strikes in Massachusetts. Why? Because it broad popular support with teachers, students, and faculty and everyone else. They had buy-in. They know that the pay and working conditions are shit. What pisses the public off is when they realize all the unpaid work they have to do, like grade papers at home on their own time. That stuff is bullshit. That's real work. And Air Canada is one thing if Air Canada played stupid, like, oh, we don't know you're working off the clock, but they said half of your unpaid, we'll do half, which is an insult to these people.
Come on, meet us halfway here.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's only half indentured servitude. That's it. The other, no, they should be 100. Oy vey. All right, go on. I get pissed off at this stuff, man. All right, fuck.
So it's just really refreshing to see the public on their side for once. Teachers unions, postal workers, municipal employees get regularly spat on in the comment section of any news article when it comes to job action. I don't know. I think maybe flying is something we've all experienced, and we all know how much it sucks.
Oh my god!
Maybe that's why it struck a particular chord with the public. I don't know.
Yeah,
so
I think.
Like to hear about attendants not even getting paid to train us on how to be safe on our flight is like nothing short of insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's refreshing. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I mean, like I said, how many times in the news? Like I watch the news in the morning when I get ready. You know, I usually have my coffee, my sandwich, and my dog will sit there and watch it with me because he loves the news. But we watch the local Channel 5 news here, and like not almost 2 times a week, they will show somebody on an airplane getting always like a very angry white guy saying racist stuff at like the black attendant. That was this week I saw, but you'll see them do this. And then, then the crowd has to restrain this person and you see them getting spit on or like, it's an insanely difficult job. It's bad enough dealing with that, with trying to make sure everyone's safe while they're flying and they don't die or anything. But I cannot believe like you could be beaten up. Like it happened. There was that guy in Logan Airport, the guy that had like a knife on him and he's like stabbed 2 attendants. This was last year. You could have been killed by some idiot wacko rich kid. He was a very, very well-to-do kid. Just
imagine being off the clock and getting stabbed at your work.
Right. You're not even getting paid. Do you get workers' comp for being stabbed? Well, technically, they'd be like, well, we weren't paying you, so we like it's. I can't.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I bet they'd use it as a private corporation, and shame on the fucking union. That's like the union leadership, not the members, but they need to elect fighters and I can't believe a 10-year contract. That is the worst thing I've ever heard. I've never in my life heard of a 10-year contract. And I thought 5 and 6s were terrible. But like I said, if anyone can find it. I'm going
to double check that because it does sound pretty crazy. I just got it from an article.
It's Cupid, right? Let me look it up too. Air Canada. I'll do a tentative agreement. Oh, Canada ends with an A.
10-year agreements on Wikipedia. That's crazy. Okay, so it is real. Oh my God. Okay, so where were we? So yeah, in liberal.
There's a good PS in the story. Okay, never mind. All right.
In liberal tradition, Mark Carney he invoked Clause 107 from the Labor Code to force workers back to work. And this is something that they can do. They take away the right to strike with no debate in Parliament, and that happened within 12 hours of voting to strike.
Hey.
With the postal strike still fresh in our minds and the wildcat strike of education workers back in 2022 to draw back on, workers defied the back to work legislation. So the union put out this statement out on Facebook. We have heard from many members and I've had the great privilege of meeting many of you face to face. We know and feel you are behind us 100%. We want everyone to be aware and understand we are behind them to the same degree. We have been working around the clock to ensure all members are returned to home base. We will leave not one single member without assistance, information, and resources. Our journey is together, and together we will prevail. The Canada Industrial Relations Board, so it's CIRB, has declared the strike illegal. However, the consequences for remaining on the picket line have not changed since yesterday. Members are reminded it is not a criminal offense to remain on the picket line. While union leaders may be subject to arrest, union members are not at risk of arrest for participating in the strike. Please continue to sign up for picket duty and report as planned. For those who have any trepidation about defying an unjust order, we want to provide some insights and education, which has been reviewed by legal counsel. There is verbiage which is referring to what we are doing as illegal. We are here to say they can bandy about whatever terms they wish, but the plain truth is that this order is unfair. It is corporate protection. The Canada Industrial Relations Board chairperson who first ruled against us was working as Air Canada's lawyer until 2023. We're challenging this unconstitutional attack on workers' rights. The refusal of this chairperson to recuse themselves is hard to fathom. So yeah, I guess the plot thickens. I didn't realize this. An Air Canada lawyer is in charge of the CIRB.
Was there? That's not a conflict of interest.
No one was like, oh, that's fine.
What? If I'm a police officer and I'm a member of the Hells Angels motorcycle gang, what's the problem? I like to ride a motorcycle. Maybe I'm trafficking meth. Big deal. I'll turn myself in.
Why are you guys so scared of Trump annexing you? It sounds like shit's already going the same way.
Trump's already here, baby. You've already got it. That's, Aaron, very American of you to have all these fucks in there. Holy shit. Wow.
Hey, man, nobody ruins our country but us.
Maybe the boy.
And maybe the Quebecois. I don't know.
Oh my God. That's okay.
Wow. The statement goes on. There is nothing illegitimate about resisting exploitation. We must stand for our charter rights and will not withstand flawed labor laws. When laws protect billion-dollar profits over workers, defiance is necessary. Please know and understand this. Every union in Canada has your back, from the Canadian Labour Congress to longshoremen to teachers. This is now much bigger than just CUPE. We are not alone. No member will face consequences alone. CUPE will cover any legal costs and fines. We do not abandon our own. Just like we did with the education workers in Ontario in 2022, we won't back down until we win. The public and the whole labor movement is behind us. This is now a movement. The entire labor movement as a whole voted unanimously to support us last night with actions and not just words. And solidarity isn't symbolic. Expect mass pickets, secondary actions, and nationwide protests if Air Canada refused to come back to the bargaining table. Now, I am proud to say that I was out there. My coworkers all agreed. We spent our lunch break out on a picket line in 2022 when the education workers defied back to work legislation. In fact, that's my Zoom profile photo of me on that picket line.
Oh, okay. All right.
So that strike forced the Ford provincial government back to the table. Strikes build precedent, and then we defy back to work orders. We can make a difference. So this is all very good information here, and also it was also the whisperings of a general strike by the Canadian Labour Congress. So this isn't just some dipshit making a Facebook page. This is actual labor leadership in this province. We're talking about a general strike if this back to work legislation continues. And I would imagine that on a national level, that would be monumental. And they don't want to risk that. They cannot risk a general strike in this country. It would completely shut this country down.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine that not every union in this most unions probably in this country would definitely support it in some way.
Yeah.
And it's great because this is what happens when you fight back is now you set a precedent and you have previous job actions to look towards.
Right. And I think the key takeaway really from many of this stuff, and this is something the labor movement's taught me, is that courage is contagious.
Yes.
When they see other people stepping up, maybe we can step up. Us in the letter carrier craft, we were very inspired by the UPS Teamsters. They did stuff. And of course, we can't strike, but we did in 1970. But the idea is that once people see people fighting, it's an inspiration and it's a first step. And other unions will soon follow and they'll use that as an example. And I love and actually I thought it was the Canadian Postal Workers Union, but it was the guy there. That's the video clip I saw of him. The CUPW, I confused him. But that was it. That whole thing, you're going to be arrested. And he goes, well, so be it. Good. That's what go ahead, arrest me. They're not going to shoot you. They're not going to murder your family or anything like it's Nazi Germany. But yeah, go ahead. Fucking do it. I dare you. That's what we need. We have a strike fund. You have union dues. It should pay for your lawyer and everything to get you out of that situation. Fight. That's what we told you to do. That's how every movement in history, the civil rights movement, was won by a lot of people being arrested and in some cases being murdered by Klansmen who were cops. Usually the same thing. But you need guts. And if you don't have guts, don't be a leader in the union. Seriously. And I'm glad Mark Hancock's his name. That's a leader. That's what we need to see more happening in the labor movement too. Good. Finally, I'm really happy about that. So
Mark Hancock was issued the order by the Canada Industrial Relations Board to end the strike, and this was his response.
There it is.
Of course, there's no sound.
Here's what I'm supposed to do. I'm expected to say, stand down. I'm expected to direct you to go back to work. This is the CIRB order. Here's what I'm supposed to do. I'm expected to say, stand down. I'm expected to direct you to go back to work. I'm expected to end this strike.
Yeah, tear that shit up. Yeah. Mark fucking Hancock. Order of Lenin.
Not on my watch. Not now. Not tomorrow. Not ever.
Yeah, Mark fucking.
Clearly, when this strike would end. I said it clearly then, and I will say it clearly now. This strike will end when we get a collective agreement that works for our members.
Man, Mark the Buzzsaw. All right. This fucking guy. I like him. All right.
Yeah. Pretty cool shit.
That's what you do to a get back to work order. Tear that shit up and say fuck off.
I do love a little bit of showmanship too when you bring the order, a printed order, to a crowd and tear it up in front of them. It's
you
great.
got to play to the audience, man. You got to tell them, man. It's not like I'm gonna write a strong. It's not like a Democrat. Like we're gonna have a strongly worded letter back telling them to go to heck.
We're gonna reach across the aisle.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, we're gonna respectfully disagree. Tear shit up, and you know, if he peed on it, I'd send him a 20. You know, I don't care. There you go. Go pick up your order. You left it on the ground, you bum. That's just how I do things. That's why I'm not gonna run for higher office, because that's probably frowned upon by some, but most people would think it's cool.
So he gets even more badass, by the way. In another interview.
The Buzzsaw Mark, all right, yeah.
Mark Hancock was asked if he was willing to risk jail time for disobeying the back to work order, and his response, "So be it."
Nice.
It's pretty cool, right? So
I got some grapefruits there, man. All right, I like it.
A refreshing response to back to work legislation, and I hope to see more labor leaders follow suit. So, because of this bold action by our labor leaders, a tentative agreement was reached nearly overnight. So now this is the worrying part. We have not seen what's in the agreement, but rumors are circulating that does not address the two main concerns: low wages and unpaid work. The strike was called off before members got to see
nothing
detail.
Important.
A hero. He was a union man.
That's right. See, that's not I knew that sound effect would come right on in. Yeah.
So too many times workers have been given a sellout deal by union leadership, and this has just been a recurring pattern. After amazing work has been done by the rank and file, if it's a shit deal, they've just completely lost momentum, and like they did with the education workers and the postal workers. Recently, the postal workers they're still in negotiations, and the strike continues to loom, but they lost all the momentum they did from over the winter.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. Yep.
And I think a second postal strike within 6 months, I think it's just going to piss off the public even more, and they're going to have even less support.
Yep.
So workers should demand what's called open bargaining, where each new addition to the collective agreement is voted on, and not just the agreement on as a whole, at least not until the very end.
Oh, okay. We call different terms in America for open bargaining. Okay. All right. Oh, that's interesting.
What's open bargaining?
Open bargaining for us, what our unions, what a reform group is demanding is open bargaining, meaning that the union will go back, they'll talk to management, okay, and they come back and they go, and this is what UPS did, the Teamsters UPS. We fought for this type of pay raise. We said this, they said that. We want to eliminate the non-career workforce, and they came back with this. They will tell you every single thing that happened. Because the way we do it, it's closed doors.
No, that's
for 600 days, they didn't tell us anything. Nothing. We knew we were in the dark for 600 days. Yeah, that was backroom deals versus opening. They tell you.
We're saying. I think we're saying the same thing. That's yeah. So,
well, they tell. Oh, I thought they were saying they vote. I thought you said voting on piece by piece.
You described it better than I.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that's it. Oh, so they do close. That's bullshit. Good. Open bargaining is fucking key. Perfect.
So there has to be discussions back and forth with the membership and the bargaining committee to see what's been agreed to so far, and it needs to be public. But they won't do this because there is enormous public support for the flight attendants, and the government will do everything in their power to strike it down. So that's where we're at. We're waiting to see if they vote against the tentative agreement. I hope they vote against it. I always vote no on tentative agreements myself personally. I think you can always hold out for something better. And flight attendants, you guys are worth it.
Yeah, I kind of went ahead and I kind of saw the TA that came out. So for non-union, I mean, so it's like 90% of people are not a member of a union. So Aaron and I are both union members. So for what a tentative agreement is, so you have obviously you can't have all 10,000 people in a room to negotiate a contract with management. You typically a union team is sometimes elected, sometimes appointed. A better union elects, a shittier union appoints, but they negotiate a contract and they'll go back and forth. This could take a week, 6 months, 600 fucking days, like my union did or whatever. Mm-hmm. And once the union negotiating team and management's team, they meet and they make a deal, the union will send it off to management for them to ratify it. If they vote, and that's a tentative agreement. Doesn't mean you have it. It's a proposal. If the majority of members like what they see in the tentative agreement, they vote yes. There's a new contract. If they vote it down like ours did, it's no, and it's kicked back to management, and then it goes back to the union team, and the union has to renegotiate a better deal with them, or if they have interest arbitration, like my union does, they have to go to interest arbitration. So that's where it is right now. So it's in tentative agreement. It doesn't mean it. Is the strike still going on? Because I heard it's called off, right? Pending a TA vote.
I believe I believe they were offered a TA, and so the strike's been called off.
That's not good.
It's not a good sign, unfortunately. That's not.
I get, because you're doing something illegal and people get anxious over time. That is so in a perfect world, what you get, no one gives a shit. We're all on board. We're okay. But when people are out of work, it's nerve-wracking. They know it's illegal. They want to get it done as soon as possible. So I get it, because you're only getting strike pay. It's a portion of your pay. It's not full pay. No one has a savings account for rainy days and shit like this. So that's the whole thing. But typically you would wait until the members voted on the TA. You'd try to do it very quickly. But I'm just saying, I don't like this. I know, Aaron, you don't either. But okay, so that's just for the audience who doesn't know about TA. So, all right.
Yeah, so some details have come out since. So yeah, unpaid work not over. So the tentative agreement contains the 50% of their hourly rate for the first hour. This is what was in the original offer. The only change is that this will rise to 70% after 4 years. This will come out, so instead of 50, it'll be 70% after 4 years. So this will come out to under minimum wage for most flight attendants. It is only for the first hour. Majority of unpaid time for other duties. So you have to show up an hour before your flight, and then the flight could be sitting on the tarmac for 1, 2, 3 hours sometimes.
Jeez. Yeah, no shit. I've been on those flights. Nothing. And you can't go home, can you? Because you're not getting paid, right? Yeah, but you have to be there.
Wages for juniors will be increased at 12%, 3%, 2.76%, and 2.5% for a total of 20.26% over a 4-year contract. This is only 3% above the initial offer.
So they got a 4-year contract proposal. That's better. I mean, they're not. In reality,
it says 4-year contract. I don't know. The thing also said 10 years. Maybe they went 10 years without negotiating. I don't know, man. It's pretty confusing.
I'm trying to find it here too. But yeah, a 12% for 5 years. So they're trying to give
senior employees get a 16% raise over a 4-year contract.
All right, so that's 4. Okay, so yeah, 4% each. That's not terrible. It's not enough, but it's. I mean, I'm. By the way, I'm at 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 for 3 years. Yeah, that's what we got. So anything's better than with a 5. We do have colas, but we have diet colas, living adjustments too. So still, this is better than what we got.
So they've held Zoom meetings across the country. According to reports from flight attendants who attended the union Zoom meetings, the mood is depressed. Some feel betrayed by the leaders. Many feel leaders could do no better because apparently the government called the union leaders and threatened them with jail time, fines, and seizure of assets, such as the strike fund. But this was no reason to back down. No. This is from a comment on Facebook. The union already showed the back to work order was not invincible and likely that the government was bluffing, and these threats precisely to get the union leaders to do their dirty work and put the cat back in the bag. The flight attendants had overwhelming support and key issues to demand ends to unpaid work. There was a galvanizing demand that anyone could identify with. Even the jobs minister said this is against the labor code. Yeah. And so this is the class struggle. It is a battle of living forces. The overwhelming power was clearly on the side of the workers, and they could have pushed and won much more.
Yep.
And so there's some valuable lessons here.
Yeah.
Trade union movement is having to learn the hard way. Negotiating should not be conducted in a secret way behind the backs of members and then presented in a fait accompli manner after the troops have been taken off the battlefield. Workers should demand a rank and file committee to be elected to sit in on bargaining committee meetings to make sure similar deals that go against the wishes of the members are not proposed.
Good. That's a very good demand. Absolutely.
It's not too late, but apparently when people asked in the meeting if they would go back on strike if they voted the deal down, the leaders empathetically stated no, absolutely not. So what are you supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
So we could very well see a majority vote in favor of this deal just because of pressure from their own leadership, and because they see no other way forward. This is also a recurring pattern. It's like rank and file fights back, and leadership just lets them down. So yeah. I'm sorry to kind of butter you up with the showmanship of Mark Hancock there, but we have to deal with the reality that like this probably is going to be a sellout agreement, just like every other agreement in the past few years. I cannot trust the current leaders of trade unions who have grown up in the past period of relative class peace and tends to work with employers to maintain that class peace, even if it means accepting bad deals for their members. We need to organize revolutionary cells within the unions to fight for consistent fighting policy that does not back down but fights for the interest of their members. So if flight attendants are listening, vote no on this dog shit offer, and please, for the love of God, go on strike. Stand up for yourself.
Yeah. I'm on the official webpage of CUPE, as you call it, and it's a very short thing. It's only like 2 paragraphs. Flight attendants at Air Canada and Air Canada Rouge have reached a tentative agreement, achieving transformational change for our industry after a historic fight to affirm our charter rights. Unpaid work is over. We have reclaimed our voice and our power. When our rights were taken away, we stood strong. We fought back and secured a tentative agreement that our members can vote on. Unpaid work still exists in this. The 50% sounds like it stayed. In reality, you're not gonna probably win everything. That's just real. I mean, we have to be realistic. They're not. You're coming from a 10-year contract, very weak thing. But to have a 99.7 strike vote, that would tell the leaders they want to fight and let them fight. Like that's insanely high. Holy shit! Take a fucking hint. Right. Like, who cares? Fuck them. We have, what do we have to lose? Honestly, our jobs are $11.87. We don't make enough money anyway. What are they going to do? Fire us and get scabs? Oh, yeah, they're going to have scabs do this work they suddenly have money for this shit? All 10,000 they're going to replace? Seriously? No, they're not. I can't. It does. It looks like the pay increases are a little bit better as well. It's progress. It is nice, but
still below minimum wage.
But still, even at 4 and 4 with the tactic that is called front loading. Their raises are because you want to get the highest raises in the beginning, then the percents are drawn off that. It's called that's a good thing. They got front loading on their contract. Our union got 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, which shows you we got screwed again because the raise, a 1.3 1 year, we're getting a 1.4 on the 1.3 versus the other where it's 1.4. It's a little bit more money, but they didn't even so they got front loading right, so they did negotiate that better. That pay raise is, the initial bumps are pretty good, but really I think the capitalists are just doing it because no one's gonna work at this place for such a low wage. It's just what's not gonna happen. They're not gonna stay. Marx kind of talks about this whole thing of they're only like they have to pay you the minimum so you could reproduce and show up the next day, and they're not even doing that anymore. That's why they're doing it, and they know the public, and they don't have public support, so it's bad. But is the NDP? I know, Aaron, has the NDP called for nationalization, or like have any of the political leaders around there been saying anything? The people that claim to be kind of some kind of socialist.
I haven't seen a single word from the NDP on this. They're in the midst of a leadership crisis right now.
Maybe they could focus on the workers. Just take a break, put out a statement or have someone show up on the fucking lines.
Well, then they'd have to stop being assholes. I don't think they're up for that.
That must be the problem. But yeah. I know comrade up in Ben. He's been on the show before, right?
Yes.
Ben.
Yes,
yes, that's right. I've talked to him on Zoom. But it'd be good to. I
messaged him in like an hour ago. I can't get him on. So let's take
damn it.
Can we take a 10-minute break? I have to go get some water and eat some food.
Okay, that's perfect.
Are you guys okay with that? And then I don't know. I guess I don't have much else to talk about.
All right, that's fine. So let's take a 10. Yeah.
I've been streaming almost an hour. That could almost be its own episode.
No, actually, right. All right.
Thing.
Yeah,
so if you want, I have a whole thing on socialism, utopian, and scientific. I would love to talk about.
All right.
If you guys are down for that, if you want to do some theory,
I'm down for it. I was taking some notes. I was rereading a little bit.
All right. I would say make that a clip. Plus, I could probably share that with my. Since we just talked about labor issue thing.
I have 16 pages of text.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
All right. I'm gonna make myself a drink for this because this is where Chris is gonna be a little bit more quiet, more listening on Chris's end.
Yeah.
And,
okay. I gotta grab some food before I pass out.
All right. How about we do that?
We'll
do
the
back.
same.
All right. 10-minute break. All right. We'll be back in 10. All right. What's this react button?